Hi friends, hope you are all doing well. Welcome back to our CISA video series. This is the 12th part of our CISA video sessions. Today we will discuss on OOPS and class. So let's get started. What is OOPS first? OOPS is object oriented programming. As the name suggests, object oriented programming or OOPS refers to languages that use objects in programming. So it is like refers to the languages that use objects in programming. So here object is like main part of this programming language. OOPS aims to implement real world entities like inheritance, hiding, polymorphism, etc. in programming. So these real world entities like inheritance, hiding, polymorphism and etc. we can implement in our OOPS, or OOPS aims to implement in our programming language. OOPS is a concept of modern programming language. So you can call as a concept that allows programmers to organize entities and objects. So to organize or to like which is really arrange the entities and objects. OOP is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects. So it is basically based on our objects, which are instance of classes. So we can say object is an instance of class. So a class is the core of any modern object oriented programming language such as C#. So class is the main core for object oriented programming or OOPS, and C# is a object oriented programming language. Why? The main principles of OOPS are encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. We will discuss all these concepts one by one: encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction in our upcoming videos. C# is designed as a fully object oriented programming language, providing built in support for all OOPS principles. So C# supports all these like principles of OOPS: encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. That's why we can call this C# as a OOPS or object oriented programming language. So as we already seen here, like class is the core of OOPS language. Without class, this object oriented programming language cannot be imagined. So we will first discuss on class. Then we will go one by one in our OOPS principles like encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. So what is class first? In OOP language is creating a class for representing data is mandatory. So in OOPS languages, creating a class for representing data is mandatory. So class is mandatory. A class is a blueprint of an object that contains variables for storing data and functions to perform operations on the data. A class will not occupy any memory space. Hence, it is only a logical representation of data. So, class will not occupy any memory. That's why it is a logical representation. So, there is no physical memory space that class occupy. Key component of class. What is the main part or main component of a class? One is fields, which is our variables we have already discussed in our one of our last videos, and properties that we will discuss one by one, methods, constructors. So these are the components or these are the contents of a class. So let's go for an example and see in the action like why like how this are responsible for creating a class, or how these are important for a class. So these are called fields. We have already seen in our variables video, like variable session. So there we have discussed like this is a private, we have not discussed yet. This is access modifier. So we will discuss in one of our upcoming video. String is the data type, int is the data type, and name and age is the variable name. So these are called fields of a class. So class contains fields. Again, class contains properties. Properties also we will discuss in a in our upcoming video. So properties, the syntax is like this: public string name, then get and set. Public int age, then get and set. So these two are called the properties. And another thing, constructor, which is main part of person as well. So constructor, you can see public, person. So person is nothing but our class name, and the same name will be like the constructor will be the same name with the class name. So constructor name and class name will always be same, and constructor is nothing but a method which name is same with the class name. That also we'll discuss in a in detail in our upcoming video, what is constructor, types of constructor and all. Then there is method. The method, this is our public access modifier. We will discuss access modifier. Void is the return type, and greet is the method name. And inside this method I have written one console.writeLine to print this message in our console. So this is a class which contains fields, properties, constructor and method. That's what we have already discussed, like key components of the fields, properties, methods and constructor. What is fields? Variables that hold data for an object. So whatever the variables inside a class, we can call that as a fields. Properties provide controlled access to the fields. So we can give access we'll discuss whenever we'll discuss on access modifier. At that time we will also discuss on properties, like how we can give controlled access to the fields of a class. And methods also we'll discuss in a upcoming video. Functions that define behavior for the object. Constructor special methods called when an object is instantiated to initialize the object state. So whenever a object is created or when the class is instantiated, at that time constructor will be called. So that also we will discuss in a upcoming video. But just for class example, I am taking all these fields, properties and this constructor and methods. So class is nothing but the container of these fields, properties, methods and constructor. So let's go for that example as well. And after this person class, I have created another class called class main, where I have written this main method. So as I have already told you, main method is the entry point to the project or program. So without main method, the program will not going to be executed. So I have created main method. Inside that I have created this person new person. So what does it mean? Create an instance of the person class. As we have already seen, person is the class name here, and here I have created one object called person. Then this is the syntax of creating an object, and everything can be achieved, like whatever the properties, the fields, the constructor, everything can the method all can be accessed only through our object. So how we'll check? First, whenever we will create an instance of that class, at the same time this constructor is going to be executed. So what is this constructor? First, initialize the person object with the specified name and age. So constructor is nothing but special methods called when an object is instantiated. So whenever this object is created, this constructor will be called. So let's see by executing it. See, first it will come for this main method, then it will go for this instance creation, directly it will go for this constructor. And whatever the value we have passed here, John and 30, it will come here, John and 30, and it will assign the same value, this third John and 30, to this dot name, this dot age. What is this keyword? This is nothing but it will indicating this name and this age. If we go click on this, go to definition, it will indicate here. So this dot name and this dot age. So we are assigning this local variable value to this to our class variable, whatever our fields here. String dot name, this parameter value will be assigned here, and this age value will be assigned to this dot age means this age. Okay, so whenever this instance is created, that time this constructor will be called. Clear? Then accessing properties. So here we have created two properties, name and age, and here we are trying to access these properties by using this person object. Person dot name we are setting Bob, person dot age we are setting 25. So let's see, whenever I am okay, so here I have adding this debugger and again running this application. Okay, then this greet method will be called by using this same person object. So we have what we have seen, everything like the constructor, the access properties, the properties and the method all can be accessed only by creating or instantiating the class or by creating an object of that class. So class and object are very important for object oriented programming language. Without creating an object, a class will act as a blueprint or a template. So class is like everything will be there, but nothing will be work without creating a object. So object is very important and class is very important as well. So class is a container only, or logical container which only holds this methods, constructor, properties, fields, whatever the members of the class. But object is like the life of class, which makes the class like active. Okay. So explanation may be fields, private string name, private string age, store the data for the person object. Properties name and age provide controlled access to the fields name and age. Constructor public person initialize the person object with the specified name and age. Whatever value we have passed here in our object, with like when we have creating this object, that will pass to this constructor. Again, a method public void greet defines the behavior for greeting someone. So this is a like we are just doing one behavior like hello, my name is this and my age is this, like this we are just printing. So this is the like functionality of a method. We will discuss method in one of our video as well. Instantiation, person new person creates a new person object. Accessing properties, person dot name equal to Bob, person dot age equal to 25. Set the properties of the object. So here we are going to access these properties, and here we are calling this method person dot greet calls the greet method which prints a greeting message. So class promotes code organization, reusability and maintainability. So by using a class we can organize our code, whatever fields, properties, constructor, methods we can keep it inside a class, and we can create a instance of that class, and we can use that members of that class by using this person object. And this is like all about our basic definition of our class. There is different types of class as well. We'll discuss one by one like what type of class are there, and we'll discuss all the components that to present inside a class like fields, properties, methods and constructor one by one in our upcoming video series. So that is all about our class today. I hope you found this session helpful and informative. Please check description below for detailed notes. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more C# tutorials. See you in the next video.